Over. I thought it was over also.
No. He was leaving. That's all. Fine. Sorry about that. Sorry to excite you. We still have to go back. Anyways, so again, Rav Huna is saying that she could say, "Don't feed me and you don't keep my food." Meisvei. So tiknum bezaynis tachas ma'aseh yodeh. So the Brisa says they were masakin bezaynis because of her ma'aseh yodeh, right? So that sounds like the reason why the man has to feed the woman is because she's bringing in income, which is the opposite of what we just said. So Gemara says, "Ema tiknu ma'aseh yodeh tachas bezaynis." Switch the Brisa. It's a good thing Rabbanan left because this would be a ganze like, okay, switch the Brisa. That's one way of learning it. Some say you're not really switching the Brisa. Okay, you see what the Mishnah, the Gemara is doing? The Gemara says, Tiknu mezainas because of her ma'aseh yodeh. So we say, okay, switch it. Tiknu ma'aseh yodeh, tachas mezainas. So how you just go switch a Brisa like that? Right? So, okay, but that's what it sounds like. Okay, let's say this Brisa is a proof. Hamakdish ma'aseh yodeh ishtay. Somebody makes the stuff that his wife makes or earns for his wife. She could still, right? Our Mishnah says that she could do the work and she could eat. My love in Izainis. Aren't we talking about where she is being fed by the husband, right? And if she's being fed from the husband, so then the money should belong to him. And we say that he can't make it hektish. Right, so you see that one has nothing to do with the other. So when it says "Loi b'shein and nizonos," no, our mission is talking about where he's not feeding her. So since he's not feeding her, that's why he doesn't have a right to say it's hektish. So Gemara says, "I b'shein and nizonos, my lememra." If he's not feeding her, then what's the chiddush? Right? Of course, he can't make somebody. I can't walk into your house and make your food hektish, right? So if he's not feeding her, what does her income have to do with him? Right? Even the one who says that a master could tell his servant, do work for me and I'm not going to feed you. That's by a guy. It doesn't say that he's going to work with you. But by Eved Ivri, where it says that he's with you, so then this doesn't work. The Kol Shekain Ishtoi. And Kol Shekain, right? So for his wife. So it can't be that it's ein and zaynis. So the Gemara says no. Seifa tzrichale. The only reason why we said the first case is for the seifa, because Meiser, the extras, Rameir Reimer Hektish, Rabbi Yochanan Sandler Reimer Chullin. Right? So Rameir says it's Hektish, Rabbi Yochanan Sandler says Chullin. So that's why the Gemara first brought the ratio just to tell you the basic case, which is her basic earnings doesn't go. He can't make it into hektish, but the extra earnings, that's a machlokes. Fine. So the Gemara says, okay, so Rav Huna said a woman could say, don't feed me, and I'm not giving you my earnings. That disagrees with Reish Lakish. Applicable to Reish Lakish. Tamar Reish Lakish, light time a time of the Rameir. Meaning, why does Rameir say that the extra money that she earns, the husband can make it hektish? Because he holds that a person can be maktish something that didn't come into the world. Don't say that that's the reason, right? Because the earnings is not there yet, right? The earnings are not there yet. So maybe Rameir says the reason why is it's still hektish because he doesn't care that it's not there, right? The reason why Rameir says it because he can force her to work, right? So make your hands hektish to those that made them. Meaning he's not making her belongings and her earnings hektish. He's making her hands hektish. And he's saying whatever your hands produce becomes kaddish. Meaning we thought that he's actually making what she produces into hektish. No, he's making her hands hektish, and that will then create everything as hektish. So when it says, he never said that he's making her hands hektish. Or answer no, since Rameir holds that a person doesn't say anything levatala, That's not going on stump speech, by the way. Okay, halavai. Halavai, it should be that we all don't say anything levatala. What it means is that a person doesn't make any sort of deal unless if it's for natala. So nasaka imrala, it's like he told her, yaktishu yadecha say him. He must have meant that he didn't want to start shooting off his mouth and saying, "Oh, this is hektish. Whatever you're going to make is hektish," when that doesn't really work. He's saying that her hand must mean that her hands are hektish. Fine. So I want to ask, so you were saying that Rameir holds that a person can't make something hektish that didn't come in the world. Somebody tells a woman that you're married to me after I become a ger, or after you become a ger, after you become free as a slave, or after, I'm saying either after I get freed or after you get freed, after your husband dies, or after your sister dies, meaning he wants to marry after his wife dies, he can marry his sister, or after you get chalitza from the one doing yivam. He's mekudeshes. Again, you realize there's a wild case. He's basically telling the woman, Harayat mikudeshes li, even though you're an Ashes ish, but it's going to be chal. It's going to be chal later on when you become free. So you see that Rameir holds that you could be makdish something that's not in the world. The person who's not a Jew yet is not considered in the world. The Eved is not considered free, right, etc., etc. So Gemara says, me'ahi in. From there, yes, mashma that one can be makdish something that's not in the world, but meha lekala mashmire. But here, there's no way to be mashmir, right? Meaning in our Mishnah, you can't say either way. You can't prove. You know, I wasn't saying that a person can be makdish davar shel, saying it's not provable either way. So therefore, since you can't prove it either way, so therefore it's not. There's no proof. But from the other brisa, yes, it's very clear that Rameir holds that somebody can be makdish davar shaloi bala olam. All right. Yeah, I guess we'll stop here. Because it's a new sugya. All right. I hope that was understandable.
Good Shabbos.
Rabbi, question. The tape over the lights, does it have to be thick enough that I can't even tell the light's on? The way this fridge is, you don't see the light bulb. So you open the door and there's a strip on the top.
What are you in a rental house? What kind of house?
No, it's my in-laws' house. They bought a fridge. And it has a weird little arm attached to the door that when you close it, it pushes part of the door, a little button in the door, and that's what shuts the light off.
And you can't...
Or turns it on. There's no way to bypass it.
You can't tape it down?
No, because it pushes in to shut it off. It's not a button that sticks out and it pushes that in. It's part of the wall, and it pushes it in further.
You can't put
a piece of tape over it?
No, because it's not a button that gets pushed.
You chew some gum.
Jesse, is it an LED
or jam it
it's
up?
an LG.
Huh?
No, I understand, but
It's
you
an
can't
LG.
jam the hole? You can't jam the hole?
No, because you have the wall, and then you have just a line that you see around the button that's flush with the wall, and part of the door is like a finger. And as it closes, it pushes that button.
Yeah, if you jam it up, the door won't close.
Push the whole thing in. You can't push it in with your finger?
No. By pushing it in, that shuts the light off.
Right, exactly. So
Right,
push it
so
in.
why can't you keep something in and leave it in there?
Yeah,
Because the door itself has a little finger that as you close it, it pushes that thing in.
Right, so what happens if the door doesn't close fully? They're going to go crazy?
Even when the door gets close to closing, it shuts the light off.
No, but if you jam the light, he's saying.
There is no
So
jamming
the door
anything.
won't close. What do you mean? Chew a piece of gum, stick it in the...
It doesn't work that way. Wait a second. You know what? Doing FaceTime anyway.
Yes, I was going to suggest that.
So regular fridge. This square on the wall
Right.
Look at it. It is totally flush with the wall.
Now push it in with your finger.
When I push it in as hard as I can, it doesn't shut the light off because you're using a lever action, like bolt cutters. That's why you can cut metal, because as it closes, it pushes that in.
You telling me
It's
the door to the
ridiculous.
fridge is stronger than you?
Yes. Because it's a lever arm. It's the same way bolt cutters, you can use your arms to tear a piece of metal that I couldn't do, but you can do it with bolt cutters. So does the duct tape have to be thick enough that you can't see the light go on? Or is it enough that we covered it a little bit?
Why can't you unscrew the light bulb?
Because they're LEDs inside a panel that has no screws. So should I just add duct tape to it?
I think
Or
you should
leave it.
come back to Farako, Bishop.
Trust me, I'd rather be there.
Um,
Or should I just go with the sock you texted me?
um,
That's my only
What if-
question. When I bend down, I can see that the lights are on, but if I put more duct tape, I won't be able to see it.
what happens if you just leave a towel in the door that it doesn't close all the way? Still?
Let me see
Well,
at what point.
No, I'm
It
saying your
shuts off the
in-laws,
light.
your in-laws are probably not going to appreciate that, though.
Why? I mean, maybe this is a horrible question. Why can't you just not open the door?
Because we need food and we're in a hick town and there's no one to get food from.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, like, why don't you personally not open the door?